Shabbat Shalom, everyone. It's wonderful to be together on this Shabbat at the end of a tough week in the world, a tough week with a lot of news in our country. To be able to come together and for a few moments to lift up our spirits, to support each other, and to be present in this moment together. Certainly is a blessing. In a few moments, we'll make our way into our Shabbat services. We'll begin together with our Mincha service, our afternoon service, beginning on page 1 of our blue Sidur Sim Shalom. If you don't have a Shabbat Sidur at home with you, you can find it, a PDF of it on the homepage of our website. And under prayer resources, you'll find the afternoon weekday service there. We'll begin page 1. Ashrei Yoshevei Techad Yalelu Chasela Ashrei Am Shekacha Lo Ashrei Am Shadonai Eloha Tila Levidah Mimcha Lemech Shum Lemech Lemech Toda Yishma Secha Gorid V'Dakul Zecher Rav Tukol V'Zayin Chanun Rachum Adonai Ercha V'Mecha Seto V'Adonai Kivo Mochai Meru Meru Achut Chamachut Mimam Shadachul V'Zamech V'Zamech פותח ידיך ומסביר לכל רצון, צדיק אל קרוב לכל קרוב. תהילת אדוני ידבר פיו, יברך כל בשר שם קודשו לעולם ועד, ואנחנו נברך יה, מעתה ועד עולם, hallelujah. We rise in body or in spirit for Chatzi Kaddish in the middle of page 2. And then we'll begin together with the Amidah on page 3b and the Kedusha on page 4, and then thereafter silently. יתקדע ויקדש שמי רבה, ויעמד ירא קירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון ובמכון ובחיי לכל בית ישראל, בגלה ובזמן קריב ימרו, אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך, לעולם עולמי עולמי. יברך וישתבח ויפע ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה ברכו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תשבחתה ונחמתה דמירן בעלמה וימרו אמן. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibur v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chastei Avot, ומביא גואל לבני בניהם למען שמו באהבה מלך עוזר ופוקד ומושיע ומגן ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם ופוקד שרה אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני מחיי מתים אתה רב להושיע משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם מחכה חיים בחסד מחיי מתים מרחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומדום מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות מתים, ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש. נקדש שמך בעולם נקדש שמך בעולם כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום ככתוב היד נביאך וקרא זה אל זה ויאמר קדוש 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 אדוני צבאות מלוך על הארץ כבודו לעומתם ברוך יאמרו ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו ודברי קודשך כתוב לאמור ימלוך אדוני לעולם אלוהיך ציון לדור ודור הללויה לדור ודור נגיד גודלך לנצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש ושבחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש לעולם ועד כי המלך גדול וקדוש אתה ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. Ya da 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 ya da 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 ya da 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 ay da da ya da 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 ya da 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 ya da 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 ay da da ya da 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 ya da 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 ya da 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 ay da da, ya da 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 da, ya da 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 da, ya da 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 da, ay da da. We continue page 10 with Kaddish Shalem. Ikadavi Kadash Shemei Rabba, V'amadi Brakirute, V'amnich Malchute, V'chayechonu V'yomechonu, V'chayedech Chobed Yisrael, V'agalau V'zman Kari V'yimeru, Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabba Mevorach, Le'alamu Me'omaya, Yibarach, Yishtabach, Yibar V'cham V'naseh, V'tadar V'taleh V'talal, Shemei Dekudesha B'richu, Le'ela Min Kol Birchata V'shirata, Tushbechata V'nechamata, Damiran Be'alma V'yimeru, Amen. Tikabal Tzot Honavar Hondecho Yisrael, Kodam Avu Hondi B'Shmaya, V'yimeru, Amen. Yehi Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya, V'chaim Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael, V'yimeru, Amen. Oseh Shalom B'mromav, Hu Yaseh Shalom, Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael, V'yimeru, Amen. Page 11. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'tei gedula liyotzeh brishit, shelo asanu k'oyei aratzot, v'lo samanu k'mishpachot adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu k'chol hamonam, v'anachnu korim ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא שעולה שמיים ויסדר עצמו שב בשמיים ולאינו ענוד במידת היום והשבת לך כי אדוני אלוהים בשמיים ולא אצלח לנוד Akin v'chad Eloheinu v'znecha v'tzakin l'malchut shaddai ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. We invite those who are in mourning to remain standing as those online enable their microphones in support of those who are in mourning to recite Kaddish Yatom, the mourner's Kaddish, on page 12. Yitkadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabba Melma Divra Kirutei V'yamlich Malchutei V'chayechom V'yomechom V'chayei Dechol Beit Yisrael Magala V'zman Kariv V'yimru Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabba Mevorach V'yolam Me'omaya Yiparach V'yishtabach V'yishtamam V'yitnaseh V'yitadar V'yitaleh Shmei Dekudesha Le'ela Mikol Birchata V'shirata Ushbechata V'nechamata Da'amiran Be'alma V'yimru Amen. Yehi Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya V'chaim Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael V'yimru Amen. Oseh Shalom B'mromav Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael V'yimru Amen. May be seated. Our ancestors saw the evening as a time of fear. Without lights like we have in our world to light our way in the dark, it was just dark. And our evening services developed around this premise that in times of darkness, we call out to the universe for help, for protection as we walk about in the world. And it's this moment of transition, of between day and night, between Chol and Shabbat, this moment where the sun goes down and the colors come into the sky, that reminds us of the promise of the evening, which is that the day will come in the morning. Even the longest nights, daytime comes on the other side. And so we offer this poem, this piyut, at the bottom of page 13. In this moment, as we sit in this space of Shabbat, in the relative peace of our homes, praying for peace in the world, praying for that shalom, that Shabbat of shalom. So begin with the last two lines, Boi hamalka, boi kala, shalom alechem, malachei shalom, and then we jump back up to the beginning. Boi hamalka, boi kala, shalom alechem, malachei shalom, boi hamalka, boi kala, shalom alechem, malachei shalom. Hacham merosh, ha'ilonot nistalka, bo v'netze likrat Shabbat hamalka. Himei yoredet hakdosha berucha, ve'imam malachim tzva shalom u'mnucha, boi hamalka, boi kala, shalom alechem, malachei shalom, boi hamalka, boi kala, shalom alechem, malachei shalom, shalom, malachei shalom, malachei elyon, malachei shalom, yada da 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 da, yada da 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 da, yada da 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 da, yada da. Yada da 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 da, yada da 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 da, da da.
This Shabbat, that's what we're searching for in the service tonight. That's what we're searching for in the world. I don't need to tell you about that. And when we look at Psalm 95 on page 15, we've been slowly making our way through. And as I noted in past weeks, it starts great. Lechuna ranana, run, go out, and sing joyously. But then, if you were with us last week, we looked towards the bottom, not exactly at the bottom, and it took a drastic turn. This moment of singing joyously became a critique of our bad behavior. It's kind of a hard way to be invited to a dance and then told that you're a terrible dancer and you look terrible and your clothing is unfashionable. And that's really what happens in the towards the middle to the end of this psalm. And then we get to the Hatimah, the seal. The Hatimah is what often our prayer leader will sing. If they're not singing the whole psalm, if they're not singing the whole prayer, the Hatimah is where we see that little square. It's what our prayer leader is supposed to chant out loud in a nusach, in some sort of sing-song melody. And the challenge with this Hatimah in particular is that no matter what melody, unless we sing a dirge, no melody will fit this. Oftentimes we'll sing, Arba'im Shana Kud Bedor, beautiful, sing-song, angelic. To the words, 40 years of contending with this generation led me to say, they are wayward, they care not for my ways. In indignation, therefore, did I vow, never would they reach my land, the land of peace and the land of rest. Doesn't fit. The beautiful melodies we often offer in our chatimah or in our songs that we sing don't fit the words because the words are an indictment. And now, of course, you've heard me for many years talk about that there is no such thing as translation. There's only interpretation, commentary, and this is by far the worst there is as far as translation goes. It's a good commentary because it's bringing a lot of story into this. But if you just look at the Hebrew, Arba'im Shana, 40 years, Ekut Ledor. It's a hard one to translate. Akut Ledor, I loathed, I despised. Truthfully, it's an imperfect verb, which means that I will, it doesn't end. I will despise Bedor by means of this generation, with this generation, in this generation. And then it goes on, the second line to the bottom, Ve'omer, and I say, Am to'eh levavhem, a nation that errs in their heart are they. Vehem lo yad'u darachai, and they do not know my ways. Now here's the hardest part. Asher nishbati be'api, and that I will swear by means of my anger, or my wrath, im yavaun el menuchati, and this is the hardest one. Im yavaun, it's often translated here, never would they reach my land. There's no land here. I don't know why they're bringing up land. But never would they reach my peace, menuchati. And of course, what they're doing is they're playing with the story that we know, 40 years, and immediately you hear an echo chamber of the stories we know, 40 years in the desert. Why were they wandering 40 years in the desert? Because that generation that rebelled against God was not going to be entered into the land. But this is all slightly inaccurate for that story, because they only contended with God for 2 years. And then the spies went in, they came back with a bad report. And then what happened? They spent 38 years until the next generation came about, and then they entered into the land. So was God contending? Did God despise them for all 40 years? That's the worst car trip I've ever heard of. But what I believe is going on, and what I would like for us to take, especially with all the challenges that the Hebrew gives us, is that this is not about a historical story. Yes, the 40 years reminds us of our ancestors. But in truth, it's about us. It's about us. Because we err in our heart because we do not know God's ways. And we can't find, because of that, because we contend, because we despise, because we are filled with anger and loathing, we cannot enter into God's rest, menuchati. Instead, we enter into God's wrath. We bring into the world God's wrath. That's what we bring. We look out in the world like the great story of Shimon Bar Yochai, looking out amongst the people and just being filled with anger, and his eyes, like lasers, burned the fields because he presumed and he assumed at what people were doing and what they thought and what they believed. And let's be honest, that's our favorite sport, isn't it? Assuming what other people believe and being filled with rage. And therefore, we can never enter into true rest. But interestingly, the answer comes with the next psalm. Keep in mind, this is Psalm 95. The next psalm is Psalm 96. It isn't happenstance that we get to Shir Ladonai Shir Chadash, sing to God a new song. And we know these words. We know that type of teaching. That works the same way in our English. What does it mean when you hear someone singing a new tune? If someone said that expression to you, oh, look who's singing a new tune. What does that mean? Or if they're singing the same old tune. We know these words, this language. So what we need to do in this time of rest as we enter into Shabbat is to seek out a new way of looking at the world, to not have our eyes filled with wrath and rage and despise, but actually take a moment to rest, to find that place of serenity, and look out in the world with love and with joy and with care. And so therefore, we could sing a new tune. We could sing a new song. Because, my friends, we keep playing our favorite hits over and over again, and they're all dark, and they're all painful. So use this time, use this moment of rest that we're about to enter into a time to truly sing a new song. Let's make our way into that transition. Page 15, Lechu Naranana.
Lechu, 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 neranin al Adonai, lechu, nari al itzur yishenu, lechu, neranin al Adonai, lechu, nari al itzur yishenu, nekadma fanav betoda, bizmirot nariya lo, nekadma fanav betoda, bizmirot nariya lo, lechu, neranin al Adonai, lechu, nariya litzur yishenu, lechu, neranin al Adonai, lechu, nariya litzur yishenu, nekadma fanav betoda, bizmirot nariya lo, nekadma fanav betoda, bizmirot nariya lo, lechu, neranin al Adonai, lechu, nariya litzur yishenu, lechu, neranin al Adonai, lechu, nariya litzur yishenu. Arbaim shana akud bedor va'omar am toei levavem vehem lo yadu derachai Hashem nishbati ve'api im yevon el menuchati Yedidai, Shiru Ladonai, Shir Chadash, Shiru Ladonai, Kol Haaretz, Shiru Ladonai, Baruchu Shemo, Basru Meyom Leyom Yeshuato, Sapru Vagoyim Kevodo, B'chol Ha'amim Nifleotav, Ki Gadol Avul Adonai mishpechot amim, Avul Adonai kavod va'oz, Avul Adonai kevod shemo, Seu mincha uvo lechatzrotav vaydaida, Ishtachavu l'Adonai behadrat kodesh, Chilu mipanav kol haaretz, Imru lagoyim Adonai malach, Avtikon tevel ba'altima, Yadin amim b'mecharim, Yismechu hashamayim v'tagel haaretz, Iram hayam u'lameot, Adonai v'chol asher bo, אז ירננו כל הצעה לפני אדוני קיבה לשפוט הארץ, ישפוט תבל בצדק, בעמים באמונתו, Adonai malach tagel haaretz, page 17, Yismechu yim rabim, and under Fosiva. Tzedek u'mishpat mechon kiso, out of the fog emerges justice, order. Mechon kiso, God's presence amidst us. Ish lefanav telechu telehe v'tzaviv tzarav. Haygidu Shemayim tzikor avni Yoshem Shematis machzim Yuda leman shetach Adonai kivnei. Or zaru ala tzadik hu yishrei lev simcha, simchu tzadikim b'Adonai mehodu lezecher kodsho. Mizmor shir l'Adonai shir chadash, ki niflaot asa, Hoshia lo yemino uzroa kodsho. Page 18. Zachachas tovim advais. Zameru l'Adonai bechino, mechino v'kol zimra, b'chatzotzrot v'kol shofar. Ariu lifnei hamelech Adonai, Zameru l'Adonai bechinor, mechinor v'kol zimra, b'chatzotzrot v'kol shofar. Ariu lifnei hamelech Adonai, Yiram hayam umlo, Teivel v'yoshveva, Merodim chauchav, Yachad harim haaretz, yishpot tevel betzedek, ve'amim meisharim. Yiram yamum lo, tevel ve'yoshveva, ne'arorim chaucha, yachad harim yiramenu. Adonai Malach Yegezu Amim, page 19, Yosef Ruvim Tanutaret. Adonai Betzion Gadol Veramu Agol Amim Yodu Shimcha Gadol V'Rakadushu. Yos Melech Chol Shvat Rabbunai Yitzchak Sheviaron Adonai Eloheinu Atah Nitam Elosei Yitlayim Elkim Alizotam. Romim u Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu le'al kodsho ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu. We rise for Psalm 29 at the top of page 20. Mizmor leDavid, avul Adonai b'nei li, avul Adonai, kavod va'oz, dai, avul Adonai kevod shemo, shtachavu l'Adonai be'adrat kodesh. Kol Adonai al hamayim el hakavod yirim. Adonai al hamayim rabim. Kol Adonai ba'koach dai, kol Adonai Adonai shover arazim, meshaber Adonai et arzei alvanon, vayarkideim kemo egel. Levanon ve'Sirion kemo ve'Remi ma'idai. Kol Adonai chotziv lavodesh, Kol Adonai yachil midbar, yachil Adonai mibakadesh, Kol Adonai cholel hayalot, imvayechesov, ye'arot, uvechalot, kulo Adonai la'abu yashav, yishev Adonai melech le'olam. Adonai oz le'amo yiten, Adonai yivarech tamo v'shalom. Didiyah, b'diyah, b'yayidada, didiyah, didiyah, yidida, b'ba'b'may, didiyah, b'ba'b'ay, yidiyah, b'ba'b'ay, b'ba'b'ay, ab'ba'y, anday, daday, alay, b'ba'b'ay, dididay, b'ba'b'ay, yidiyah, b'ba'b'ay, b'ba'b'ay, alay, daday, b'ba'b'ay, didiyah, b'diyah, b'ay, b'ba'y, didiyah, b'diday, We're seated as we welcome in the Shabbos Queen, as we welcome in Shabbat, as it were walking down the aisle together for that moment when Israel and Shabbat unite. We lift up our voices, and Shabbat herself lifts us up. Kumi tzei mitoch ha'afecha. Lift us out of the darkness. Raise us up to recognize that holy spark within each of us. Page 21. Lecha dodi likrat kala yababai 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 pnei Shabbat nekabelai. Lecha dodi likrat kala yababai 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 pnei Shabbat nekabelai. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad Ishmi'anu el hayuchad Adonai echad u'shmo echad L'shemu tiferet v'tila Lecha dodi likrat kalai yadadai 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 Pnei Shabbat nekabelai Lecha dodi likrat kalai yadadai 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 Pnei Shabbat nekabelai Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha Ki mekor habracha Merosh mikedem mesucha Sof ma'aseh b'machshava tila Lecha dodi likrat kalai yadadai 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 Pnei Shabbat nekabelai Lecha dodi likrat kalai yadadai 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 Pnei Shabbat nekabelai Mikdash melech yimelucha Kumi tzei mitoch ha'afecha Ralach shevet be'emek albacha Vehu yachamol alayich chemla Lecha dodi likrat kalai yadadai 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 Pnei Shabbat nekabelai Lecha dodi likrat kalai yadadai 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 Pnei Shabbat nekabelai Idnari me'afar kumi Livshi bigdei tifatech ami Ayad b'nishai b'alachmi Korah nafshi gerala Lecha dodi likrat kalai yadadai 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 Pnei Shabbat nekabelai Lecha dodi likrat kalai yadadai 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 Pnei Shabbat nekabelai Itoreri, itoreri Giva orech kuni ori Uri, uri, shiraberi Kivod Adonai alayich nigla Lecha dodi likrat kalai yadadai 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 Pnei Shabbat nekabelai Lecha dodi likrat kalai yadadai 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 Pnei Shabbat nekabelai Lecha dodi likrat kalai Pnei Shabbat nekabelai Lecha dodi likrat kalai Pnei Shabbat nekabelai Lo tevoshi velo tikami Ma tishtochachi u'ma temni Bach yechesu ani ami Venivneta yiratila Lecha dodi likrat kalai Pnei Shabbat nekabelai Lecha dodi likrat kalai Kabbalah. V'hayulim shisa shov zayich v'rachaku kol mevalayich yasis alayich Elohayich kimsos chatan al kala lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat mikala lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat mikala Yamin u'smol tifrotzi bet Adonai taritzi Al yarish ben parzi v'nismecha v'nagila lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat Kabbalah lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat Kabbalah lirais boi v'shalom ateret bala gam besimcha u'v'tzola Tochanei am segula boi chala Lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat mikabla Lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat mikabla Shalom Shabbat Shalom Shabbat Shalom Shabbat Shalom Yada da 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 Yada da 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 Yada da 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 Yada da da Yada da 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 Yada da 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 Yada da 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 Be seated. Page 23. Mizmor shir v'yom ha-Shabbat Tov le'odol Adonai u'zamer shimcha elyon Negi b'boker chazdecha ve'emunatcha b'leilot le'esav Ma'ya l'masecha v'mashdecha B'froch Hashem v'zeh dunya v'menshem בטרם קנים צדיק כתמה יפרח כארז בלבנון Adonai malach geulavei shel yishmei zita zarti on teva baal timo. Page 24. Mikodom layim. עדותך נאמנו מאוד, לביתך נאווה קודש, אדוני לאורך ימים. We invite those who are in mourning or observing your sight, beginning this evening, to rise in body or in spirit for the mourners' Kaddish in the middle of page 24, inviting all those online to enable their microphones in support of those mourners. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'yalma divra kirutei v'yamlich malchutei, mechayachon v'yomechon uv'chayei d'chol beis Yisrael, Bagalal v'zman kariv v'yimru amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mevorach le'olam umei amaya. Yiparach v'yishtabach yipa'ar v'yisramam v'yisnaseh v'yitzhadar v'yisaleh v'yisalal shmei v'yisha b'rehu le'ela minkol birchasa v'shirasa tushbechata v'nechamasa damiran v'yalma v'yimru amen. Yehei shlama Rabba min Shemaya v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen.
Amen.
Shabbat shalom, everyone. I don't know about you, but I'm already feeling a little bit more peace in my heart, a little bit more peace in my soul as we come into this Shabbat together. We're going to move right into our Mariv service, building on that momentum, building on the energy, building on the shalom of Kabbalat Shabbat, as we rise in body or in spirit for the Baruch Hu, page 28. Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach leolam eved. We're seated. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher b'romah ribonim u'chma putech shanim. Sedet kochem v'shmetem v'yakia ki yotzono. Umavir yom umevi laila, umavdil ben yom uvein laila, Adonai tzevaot shemo, El chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu leolam eved. Baruch atah Adonai Hamari v'aravim Avat olam beit Yisrael amcha Torah mitzvot Yismach l'rei Torah ki im chayenu v'yorach yameinu מאהבתך תשים עמנו לעולמים, ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע Adonai בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשיטתך בביתך ולכתך בדרך, בשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך. היה עם שמוע תשמעו את זמניים Adonai Elohechem Emed. Ve'emun HaKol Zavagam Aleinu, page 32. Ki Adonai Eloheinu ve'in zlato hapodenu yam lachim. ומלכותו ברצון קיבלו עליהם משה ובני ישראל, לחנו שירה בשמחה רבה ואמרו כולם, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקע ים לפני משה, זה אלי ענו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
Give us a place to rest, Adonai our God. Bring us into shelter in the soft, long evening shadows of your truth. For with you are true protection and safety, and in your presence are acceptance and gentle love. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in your heart and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Page 33.
השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, ועמידנו מלכנו לחיים. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, לשלום, והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים, ושמור צאתנו, ובואנו לחיים ושלום, מעתה ועד עולם. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים. ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, דן צדקת רחמך, ושיהיה למען שמך וימנו. אהבנו זמננו, יבשר דבר שעירנו, ישרנו צבאנו, שמע צאתנו ונחם שמנו. ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, ברוך אתה אדוני, הפורס סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל ירושלים. We rise at the top of page 34 for Vishamnu, followed by Chatzi Kaddish, and then the silent Amidah beginning on page 35 through page 38. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם מדידה ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת וינפש. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, ויעמד דברי קידותי וימליך מלכותי בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי כל בית ישראל. בגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ועמיה יברך וישתבח ויפאר שמה ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי דקודשה בריחו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה תמירם בעלמה ויאמרו אמן. לשפתי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך. Ose shalom bimramav. Ose shalom bimramav. Uyase shalom. Uyase shalom. Uyase shalom. Aleinu. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who brings peace bring peace down, bring peace down. Oh, say shalom. Bimramav. Oh, say shalom. Bimramav. Uyase shalom. Uyase shalom. Uyase shalom. Aleinu. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. Continue to rise, continue to stand. Page 47 with Mein Shalosh, the abbreviated repetition of the Amidah. ויחולו השמיים והארץ וכל צבאם, ויחל אלוהים היום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה, וישפוט ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה. ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי ויקדש אותו, כי בו שווה מכל מלאכתו אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו, אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק ואלוהי יעקב, אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל ואלוהי לאה, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל העליון. כהני שמיים וארץ, מגן אבות בדברו, מחיי מתים במאמרו, האל הקדוש שאין כמוהו, המניח לעמו ביום שבת קודשו, כי בם רצה להניח להם, לפניו נעבור ביראה ופחד, ונודה לשמו בכל יום תמיד, מעון הברכות. אל ההודעות אדון השלום, מקדש השבת ומברך שביעי, ומניח לקדושה בעמד ושני עונג. זכר למעשה וראשית, אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו, רצה במנוחתנו, קדשנו במצוותיך, ותן חלקנו בתורתך, סבנו מטובך, ושמחנו בישועתך, וטהר ליבנו לעובדך באמת. והנחילנו אדוני אלוהינו באהבה וברצון שבת קודשך, וינוחו וישראל מקדשי שמך. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. יקדש יקדש שמי רבה, ואמני והקירותי וימניח מלכותי, וכיכונים וכונים חיי לכבוד ישראל, בגדלה ובזמן קריב, ויאמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך, ועלם ומאמיה יתברך וישתבח ויברא ויתשמע וינשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה שמי דקודשה בריחו ואלה מכל ברכתה ושירתה ושבחתה ונחמתה דאמירן בעלמה ויאמרו אמן. תקבל צור הלבן הון לכל ישראל קודם עוון וישמעיה ויאמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמעיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ויאמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ויאמרו amen. We invite you to grab some grape juice or wine for Kiddush as we continue together on page 49. Savri Chavirai, Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon inchilanu, zikaron le'maaseh v'reshit, ki hu yom techilah le'mikra'ei kodesh. זכר ליציאת מצרים, קיבלנו בחרת, ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך לאהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh ha-Shabbat. Amen. L'chaim. Let's continue with the Aleinu, page 51, standing in body or in spirit. עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו קריי ארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות אדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, בגור עלינו ככל עמונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים. לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא שנותן לשמיים ויסד הארץ ומשער השבota אל לבביך. What are we taking with us and putting on our hearts tonight as we walk back into our Shabbat, into the world? כי אדוני אלוהים לשמיים ולצלחנו. ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו
Please be seated. With great sadness this week that our community lost Rosalind Davidson, the mother of Jerry and Marianne, Beth and Joel, and also Rena Bat Yaakov, the granddaughter of Neil and Gabby Yarm. We pray that these families are receiving the care and love that they need during this time. We also know the continuing Shloshim period, 30 days after passing. For Claire Kirschenbaum, mother of Seth and Carla and Jill. Malcolm Minsk, brother to Alvin and Shirley, Donald and Sheila. And Colonel Donald Martin Gilner, husband of Celia, father to Brian and Amy and Michael and Lisa, brother to Elaine Friedman. Dale Schindler, mother to Robert and Andrew, a close friend to Fern Shore. Stanley Kolotkin, husband to Judith, father to Amy and Greg, David and Margot, Susan and David, brother to Alan and Elaine Kolotkin. Dorothy Eisen, wife of Jerry, mother to Ellen and Lee, to Nancy and Steve. And Steve Sandusky, cousin to Stanley Cohen. On this, the 25th of Adar, we remember with great affection the yurtzites of Marvin Bloomberg, brother to Betsy Teplis, David Goldstein, cousin to Elliot Levitas, Rose Fishman Hershey, sister to Bernice Batch, Dorothy Janofsky Lynch, my grandmother, Saul Marmer, brother to Robert Marmer, Charles Rinsler, father to Robert, father-in-law to Marlene Rinsler, Mitzi Weitz, the mother to Carla Silver, Jill Van Tosh, and Greg Weitz, and Rona Kaplan, sister to Adele Weinberg and Leona Zevins. We also continue to walk with those who come morning and evening, remembering Herbert Singer, Henry Burnbury, Lynette Cohen, B. Blass, Stanley Bloomberg, Steve Marcus, Carol Wexler, Harris Pavlot, Pauline Cohen, Dan Melnick, John Sherman McDade, Rose Berman, Bella Hayabatsari, Norman Arm, Demetrius Coffey, Steve Wexler, Mike Schaefer, Walter Hirschberg, Eleanor Sims, Ralph Sachs, Kathy Baumgartner Scheer, Arnold Landy, Rick Goldstein, Doris Copland, Susan Pollock, Mary Goldstein, Leon Goldstein, Lester Breen, Bruce Romer, Susan Levine Open, Hiram Sturm, Jerry Ashkenazi, Cerise Rubin, Jules Stone. I pray I haven't missed any names, but if I have, I did one. Baruch ben Eliezer. If I've omitted any other names, please forgive me. But know that we walk with you. We hold you during this time as you remember your loved ones, and we join together in the words of the Mourner's Kaddish, enabling microphones, supporting one another with the call and response of this sacred prayer. Page 52. Yitgadal, Yitgadash, Shemei Rabbah, Ve'alma Divra Kirutei, V'yamlich Malchutei, V'chayechon V'yomechon, Uv'chayei Dechol Beit Yisrael, V'agala V'yizman Kari V'imru, Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Vorach, Me'omaya, Yiparach V'yishtabach, Yipa'ar Yitramam V'naseh, Vita dar, vita le, vita lao, shmeid kusha, brichu, le'ela mikol b'chata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechamata, da'amiram bi'alma v'imru, amen. Yehi shlama rabba in shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen.
Amen.
Aseh shalom b'rama, Aseh shalom, aleinu,
All Israel.
Amen. Please be seated. Shabbat shalom, everybody. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for those who came in person to our Mashor Reem. Thank you so much. It was a really beautiful job. It was hard to describe. Like, it just really lifted me up. And I needed it. It was a hard afternoon. But I'm glad that we came to Shabbat in this way. So thank you all so much for your wonderful leadership. I want to thank Neil Yarm and Damon Fanuni for your AV work on Zoom online and then here in person to make sure that the service is accessible to all. Tomorrow morning's 9:30, 10:30, we have Stephen Nager who's going to be teaching our Torah study, so you could join him online. If you want to come in person, we do have space that will be facilitated in. But I know Stephen doesn't live in Atlanta, so he'll be doing it from online, and we look forward to his teaching. We also have Kyle Wade from the community, the CEO of the Atlanta Community Food Bank, coming to speak to us tomorrow. tomorrow to get us all inspired and revved up and our walking shoes on to do the Hunger Walk, which is coming, I believe it's March 5th, next week.
Yep.
Next Sunday. So please be with us, whether it's online or in person, for that really very special experience. Less than 3 weeks away till Purim. And so I hope you'll join us. We have a lot of festivities. Even before 3 weeks, we have our Purim Palooza, our big carnival festival for families with food and fun. It'll be just a really great time. And then on Purim night, as we have Steve Grossman doing what he always does every year with just voices and hats and costumes. It's really very special. And we have music. Rabbi Blesson, we're doing a whole music piece as well.
Music things, Levine's, the Margolises, AE.
Yep. My own son. So it's going to be a really wonderful night. And then the next day, we have more Megillah reading and morning minyan. And we're going to try to be doing a breakfast that day. We'll see if that comes together. But there's just a lot going on with Purim. And then, right after Purim, 30 days until Passover. So we're kind of in the zone right now. So we hope that you'll be with us and not only to celebrate with us, but also to come with us and support each other as we make our way through these very, very important spring holidays. Are we blessed in anything else?
Are you playing a show on Sunday?
Am I playing a show? Oh, that's right. So the Atlanta...
Jewish Life Festival.
The Atlanta Jewish Life Festival. Thank you.
Yeah.
The Atlanta Jewish Life Festival put on by the Atlanta Jewish Times. They are bringing it back. I don't know if they had it last year. Do you know? Does anybody know?
I don't think they did.
I don't think they did. They do it at the aquarium. It's a really nice thing. They have vendors and they have food and they have synagogues and other institutions giving away swag and just being together and kind of sharing what Jewish life looks like in Atlanta. So many years ago, I was asked to play. My band was asked to play, and I got a call this year. And I was very, very excited to be called. It was a surprise since I don't have a band anymore. And so I called the old bandmates. So we have a one-afternoon reunion tour. This is it. As of yet, we'll be playing at 2 o'clock. But it's a whole AA music experience because my band has Mindy's wonderful husband, Andy Margolis, and Scott Glazer, another person from our community. But we also have Bonnie and Michael Levine, who couldn't be here for our Mashorim, but they're playing right before us. And then Michael and Helene Cates with the Baal Shem Tones, and Helene was one of our prayer leaders. She's going on before Bonnie and Michael. So it's like a whole AA attack of the aquarium. So it should be really, really meaningful. And so I hope you'll be with us. That's all I can say about it. It's also... Don't tell anybody, but it is the best, cheapest way to get into the aquarium all day if you want. So come, walk by everything, and go see the beluga whales because it is great. So you can go online and buy tickets, and it's a really fun experience. Yigdal.
Actually, we're going to end at the beginning with Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem.
Page 13. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon. Akadosh Baruch Hu Mochem L'Shalom Malachei Hashalom Malachei Elyon Mi Melech Malachei Amlachim Akadosh Baruch Hu L'Shalom Malachei Hashalom Malachei Elyon Mi Melech Malachei Amlachim Akadosh Baruch Hu Tzedchem L'Shalom Malachei Hashalom Malachei Elyon Bimelech Malachei Amlachim Akadosh Baruch Hu. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. May it be filled with the blessings of angels.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, y'all from Milledgeville. We love y'all.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat
Shalom from Florida.
Yes, indeed. Mama Jill, thank you again. What a son you raised, man. Man,
Thank you. Shabbat
You
shalom
did
from
good.
Minneapolis.
You did good.
Shalom,
Gary
shalom,
LaPie.
Shabbat shalom, hon.
I am.
Beautiful service.
You all in the morning.
Shabbat shalom.